So it finally happened. Trailer 2 of GTA 6 is out, and oh my god, does the game look good. The game looks even better than Trailer 1, and I actually think they've made some adjustments since Trailer 1. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down Trailer 2 of GTA 6 just on face value, stopping at each scene, going over what we can see. Now, obviously, the trailer has just come out, and more details and more breakdowns are going to happen after this video is made, and loads of new details are going to emerge. And to be honest, I really want to spend all day breaking it down, but it is my birthday tomorrow, so I'm a little bit busy. You really picked the best time, didn't you, Rockstar? But believe me when I say we're going to be making loads of GTA 6 content, because there is so much new content out. But without further ado, let's get into breaking down this trailer. Alright, so scene 1, we see the Leonida Vice City keys. This is obviously based on the real life Florida keys, and we saw some of it in Trailer 1. In fact, the same balloon we see in the background of Trailer 1, you can see in the background of this scene here, as well as what looks to be the launching pad. But you can see some houses on the side. In fact, I'm pretty sure this one down here is Jason's. And then obviously some more bigger houses and some more like towns in the background. Now, throughout the entire trailer, you're going to see stuff like boats moving, people doing stuff, and I won't call it out too much unless it's anything of significance. But you're going to see animals around and stuff like that. Just stuff happening, which is really, really cool, but it happens so much in the trailer. I'm not going to make a point of calling it out every time it happens, or we'd be here all day. As well as this, you see what looks to be a dodo in the sky over there. Now we get a look at Jason's house, and another look, I'm not sure if it is the one I mentioned a minute ago. It very well could be. It's hard just to tell because of the color and the angles and whatnot. But again, birds flying, Jason on the roof, some sort of lizard down here. We see Jason and he's fixing some leaks, and we can see rain puddles around, so it must have just rained. And we also see Jason's car, which will pop up a couple times in the trailer. Jason has a conversation with his landlord, but I just want to say this game looks absolutely beautiful. The reflections, the character model, like you can actually see the hairs on their arms. It's crazy. Now, Jason has had a rough upbringing. He was in the military for a little bit, which is why he has military looking tattoos, but he left, and right now he's working for some drug smugglers. What he actually does is not entirely sure, but it could just be, you know, smuggling drugs. We see Jason doing Jason things, driving, robbing this place's cash register. It looks to be some sort of Zen bar or crystal shop. Then he takes a drive down Vice City, and we see some construction workers naturally doing nothing, as well as some people drinking beer out the back of a truck, which is just so Florida. We then see him benching what looks to be 120 kg. Fair play, because he's doing it with good range of motion and form. And these are the same colored plates as they are in real life. And that looks to be Ocean Drive in the background there, so this is the Vice City beach. We then see more of Jason walking around, driving past a crime scene before he goes to the Vice City Penitentiary. Now, this is the same place we saw Lucia at in Trailer 1, and this is actually the scene where Lucia gets released. Now, it's not entirely sure what Lucia did specifically to end up in jail or why she got out, but it's said that she did it defending her family somehow, and something very lucky happened for her to get out. But it looks like she still has to do community service, as we'll see later in the trailer. We see Jason and Lucia doing yeah. But then it moves on to the first robbery scene of the trailer, which is robbing the SNB. This looks to be called the Sinfronterra National Bank. Very red inside, and Jason and Lucia are holding it up with MP5s. Now, it's mentioned in the plot synopsis a very easy score goes wrong, so perhaps this score ends up going wrong, and that's what kicks the story into motion. It seems to be happening quite early in the game. More of Jason and Lucia doing well, yeah. And then we see them hanging out in the Vice City Keys, drinking at the bar. Again, the game just looks so beautiful, and we see people doing stuff like there's a yacht party going on. We then see what looks to be Jason help loading the suspicious suitcases into a dodo seabird. Now, obviously, as mentioned, he is working for a drug smuggler, so it's pretty clear to see what's going on here. We then see what looks to be Lucia doing some of that community service. We see her in this exact same outfit later on in the trailer, and looks to be her parole officer there making sure she's picking up that litter. We then see the inside of their apartment, and they own a snake. We're then introduced to Cal Hampton, which is one of Jason's friends. Now, I said he seems very similar to Lester. It's claimed he feels safest hanging at his house, snooping on the Coast Guard comms with a few beers and opening some private tabs. Very Lester-like, I can't lie, but they're all just drinking at the bar. We then see Lucia and Jason looking very nice, very dapper in what looks to be the roof of some sort of club. Now, this is the exact same outfits we see later on in the trailer when they're in the 919 club, so it all seems to be part of the same mission, and maybe this is the roof of that club. We also see this scene of them holding hands, and I think this is when they first land in Vice City. At first I thought this is when Lucia left jail, but the outfits are different, and I think this could be Vice City Airport, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, this is the 919 club, which is a parody of a very famous Miami club, and it's the same club we saw advertised on the banner of that plane at the start of trailer 1. Again, wearing the same outfits as a couple seconds ago in the trailer. So all part of the same mission. We see some dancing inside the club and then Jason getting into a scuffle with some people. I'm not entirely sure who these people are. Perhaps associates of another character called Booby Ike. Yes, his name is Booby Ike, who's meant to be a Vice City local legend who looks to be hanging around in clubs and, you know, managing that sort of stuff. But the guy is actually accusing Jason of being a Fed, which is quite interesting because a lot of people reckon Jason is an undercover cop. He says, "Yo, D, is this fool a Fed?" And he's talking to Draquan Priest, who is one of Jason's friends. He seems to be more in the music scene and is described to be more of a hustler than a gangster. But they're asking him if Jason is a Fed. And then we see Jason and Lucia leaving this building while a Vice City police helicopter watches them do so. Maybe the same scene, maybe not. I reckon it's later on in the trailer when the police are raiding the building. Speaking of which, the next scene is the police raiding the building. So I reckon this is the building they just jumped out of. And I also reckon this might be the same body cam footage that was in trailer 1, but obviously from a other perspective. Now, I reckon the police are going to be heavily involved in this story because obviously it's meant to be a Bonnie and Clyde type of story apparently. But again, the character models just look so good. We then see Jason going down Ocean Drive, shooting out the side of a car, followed by another new character who looks to be Roxy or Real Dimez. These looks to be like party club girls who are quite big on social media. But what I find most interesting about this shot is you can actually see the Vice City Metro in the background. Now, if you've seen the leaked footage of GTA 6, then you've seen it before, but it's cool to see it in another angle. More of Jason and Lucia. We see what looks to be a Jason with a grown out beard and hair slamming someone against the car while there's a fire going on in the background. Now, this looks to be either in the Gator Keys or Port Gellhorn. I reckon this might be happening quite early on in the story while Lucia's in prison. And then when he knows she's getting out, he kind of like freshens himself up. And then followed by a scene of Lucia fighting in what looks to be an octagon. Now, it's mentioned in a character synopsis that she's been a fighter and taught to fight by her father since she could walk. So she most likely is going to be hard as nails. Which then we get another scene of them in the apartment, followed by Lucia with a grenade launcher blowing up the police. Now, I've got to say the explosion physics look absolutely insane, but we see a SWAT van as well, a noose van even. So cool to see. I'm really interested to see this mission. Jason and Draquan react to something on the phone, and it has been mentioned how social media is going to play a big part in this game. Obviously, a lot of the clips from trailer 1 was on social media, so I imagine that's involved here. Followed by a scene of what looks to be Lucia fighting another woman in like the cargo hold of a plane, I think this is. Or fuck that, underneath it, like the underbelly where the wheels go. How you even get there or the context of this scene, I have no idea, but the volumetric clouds in the background look insane. That is Vice City back there, but it's covered by a thick layer of fog and it looks so realistic. It looks so good. I reckon this mission's gonna be a lot of fun, but if that's Lucia underneath, she's getting her ass kicked. Someone's getting thrown out of that plane. We next see a car towing a bank vault, which is an obvious reference to Fast and Furious 5. That's so cool. And we can tell it's a Bravado car because of the logo. More of Jason and Lucia. More inside the club. Then we get another look at Ocean Drive where we can see a brand new Lamborghini and brand new Pagani vehicle. Looks to be based off a newer Aventador, and back there we can see what looks to be another Banshee. And then potentially an electric Porsche, I want to say. Someone will break down the exact models. We then get some scenes of the strip club, or at least one of the strip clubs in the game. Obviously, we saw the interior in trailer 1. And then we get an ammunition ad, followed by Jason and Lucia in the apartment, and Lucia in that outfit she was picking litter in. Very cool to see ammunition return. Some people have said this is apparently a character from the original Vice City who's come back maybe. Also, ammunition looks very similar to GTA 5, so it's just cool to see. We then get our first look at the Buzzard attack chopper, which looks so good. Although it looks the same, it looks like it's had a complete makeover. Like, it looks a lot more military, if that makes sense. This specific one even has a side-mounted minigun for the passengers to use, which is fucking awesome. Chasing down a hovercraft in the Gator Keys, followed by an open shot of the ocean surrounding Vice City. Now, I think it's so cool how there's stuff going on in the ocean and the beaches around Vice City, because that was a big complaint with GTA 5. There was no boats. There was nothing happening out there. But we see people throwing yacht parties, people swimming, like blow up flamingos. We see what looks to be a Super Velito helicopter, and what I'm pretty sure is Jason and Lucia on this speed shark. Then Jason being followed by a Dodo Seabird, which I'm pretty sure is part of that drug smuggling business he's involved in. Then a scene where they're stealing a Lamborghini out the back of a moving lorry, which I think looks loads of fun. But also I think it's really cool if you look in the background, you can actually see into the rooms and stuff of these like buildings. Such good attention to detail. More of Jason and Lucia. I'm pretty sure this is from the Trust scene. Some characters shooting a police helicopter from a boat. Some people fighting in a car chase in Port Gellhorn. We can see the Welcome to Port Gellhorn sign over on the right here, as well as a massive neon G-horn sign on the left. Obviously, this is going to be one of the other cities within the Leonida area. Really cool to see. It looks really built up, and there's going to be probably a lot to do there. Jason jumping into the back of a car that Lucy is driving, probably from this scene. We then see Cal again in this building where they're actually fixing up a yacht in the background and what looks to be a dodo seabird as well. I imagine this is the drug smuggling business that Jason is involved in. And then the final scene, riding off into the Miami Vice City sunset. I mean, it just looks awesome. GTA 6 2026. Now, as I said, this is a quick flyover of the trailer. I've actually had to record this video twice because the first time the voice line's fucked up. But I've been speaking for about 40 minutes now, and that's why my throat sounds a bit raspy. But obviously there's going to be loads of details I didn't pick up on, so if you did see any, please comment them down below. I'd love to know. And I'll probably make a video going over like 50 details you missed from the trailer. There is so much, like we haven't even dived into the screenshots today. It's just bad timing because I'm going to be busy today and tomorrow, but after that I plan on making loads of content on everything GTA 6. I am so excited for this game, and let them cook. I don't even care about a delay anymore. It looks amazing. But yeah, comment down below if you found this video helpful, and like and subscribe if you did. We're trying to get 10k by the time GTA 6 comes out. And comment down below what you found the most interesting from the trailer. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.